Time for another Necron video, and today I'm going to share my top 5 Necron Forge World Units. It's coming right up.
Necrons!
Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, today I'm going to have a look at my top 5 Forge World Necron units. This is from a model point of view rather than from a rules point of view. Now we only have 9 models in total, however that's enough to produce a top 5 list. Now before we get on with that list, if you would like to keep up to date with the Wonders of Warhammer 40k, then please subscribe and hit the bell button to turn on all notifications so you don't miss an upload. Okay, so being a big, massive Necron fan, producing a top 5 list is always very difficult because, after all, I love Necrons, full stop. However, this list has to be done, so I've had to choose an order for the models. Now, like I said, there's only 9 in total, which means only 4 models are not going to be in this list. Now there's one model which I know a lot of people like, which I personally don't like. Of course, there's not enough units to do a top 5 and a bottom 5, so I'm just going to do a mention of the ugliest unit from the Forge World range, and then we'll move on to my top 5 list. Okay, so my least favourite Forge World model is the Tesseract Ark. Now, I know a lot of people like this model, and that's fair play. However, for me, it just doesn't float my boat. I think what I really don't like about it is the front. That massive wad of something right in front of the driver. He can't see anything. I think it's ridiculous that you've got this open top sort of vehicle which is just covered at the front. You either make it so that the Necron is there driving and he's going to be looking out over the battlefield, or you have it enclosed and he's looking on view screens instead. Personally, I don't like it. It seems like they've just copied the rear of a Ghost Ark and just stuck a massive chunk of resin on the front. Personally, I really don't like it. Like I said, if you like it, that's great. Let me know in the comments box below. I mean, there's no doubting the rules for this model. It's a great unit for rules, but personally, I don't like it. Okay, so that's out of the way. Now we're going to have a look at my favourite units. Okay, so in 5th place we've got the Atkins. Now these are a mixture of Wraiths and also Tomb Spiders. Now I like both of those models, in particular the Wraiths. So having a Wraith unit which effectively is floating looks super cool. Now I like these models a lot, however, just like most of the Forge World units, they're quite expensive to buy. However, I had a few spare old metal Wraiths and I converted those into Atkins. Now my Atkins don't have those little pieces coming out of the spines which are supposed to be their hovering platforms. However, I still think they look super cool, and that's probably why I like the Atkins model as a unit. Now I do have a playlist on me building those Atkins, so I'll link you up to that playlist in the description below. Right, let's have a look at my 4th place choice. Okay, so in 4th place is the Nightshroud Bomber. This is a very cool flyer, of course using the Doom Scythe stroke Night Scythe chassis and then adding some Forge World pieces to it. It's a super cool model, I really like it. I don't own one yet, but one day I hope to. I really like the way the fins on the side just beef up the original kit and just make it more intimidating. Right, next up in 3rd place is the Tomb Stalker, this very cool Necron centipede. I really like this model. It's great how it has all of those legs and you can tell it's just slithering across the table, causing havoc. I think it matches into the Necron army really well, and I really like it. Now, of course, there is the Tomb Sentinel as well. I don't actually like the Tomb Sentinel quite as much. I think the Tomb Stalker just has the edge, but either way, a centipede in the Necron army, you've got to love it. Now, of course, you can convert the Tomb Stalker out of a box of Wraiths, and that is something I do plan to do in the future. In actual fact, a lot of people do convert the Forge World models. So the Tesseract Ark, for example, you could make that out of an Annihilation kit as well. So some food for thoughts there. You don't always have to spend out for the proper Forge World model. Right, we are now on to second place. Okay, so in second place is the Gauss Pylon, previously just known as the Pylon, but of course we've now got other Pylons, and this has been renamed the Gauss Pylon, Gauss Pylon. Okay, I've grown up saying Gauss for so many years now, I keep saying it, but it's Gauss apparently. Right, the Gauss Pylon, I love this model. It's a massive chunk of resin. I really love how they've used the green crystal from the monolith, but you've actually got some of the model, some of the resin areas inside the crystal. A super cool idea. I wish they'd done something like that for the actual monolith as well. As you know, I am a massive fan of green rods and green plastics for my Necron army. So I really love this. I own this model. It's a lot of fun to build, a lot of fun to paint, and nearly made it into #1 spot. However, it was pipped at the post. So let's have a look at #1. Okay, so in #1 spot, of course, it's the Tesseract Superheavy Construct. How cool is this brand new model from Forge World? I was very lucky in that it was released at the same time I got a bonus from work, so I was able to pick one of these guys up. It's such a fun model to build and paint and play. It's great at shooting, it's great in close combat, and it looks super cool, and I think it's well deserved of first place in this list. However, do you agree? Let me know in the comments box below, what are your top 5 Forge World Necron models? And if you're not subscribed yet, start now. Hit the Edic Beer icon. And if you want to see some of my other Necron top 5 videos, then check out that playlist just there. Beam me up!